Good morning, my YouTube viewers. Crystal here. I just wanted to make you another video on something that I was working on yesterday. I've been working on a few things, and basically what this is I was working on a CSV file that I got from gov.uk website. Basically because you can get lots of free data sets off of gov.uk. So I got this one off, and it's very similar to the bananas data set that I was working on, except this time it's fruit and vegetables. And so because it's very similar, I went ahead and put it in the bananas directory in my GitHub account. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go over with you a code review for what I have done. And obviously I'm going to have to do some more work and do some more studying. That's what I'm going to be concentrating on after I've done this vlog and a blog post as well, because I'm going to do a blog post after I've done the video. So the actual CSV data file is stored in the bananas subdirectory of my GitHub account. But when I make the blog post, what I'll do is I'll give you a link to the GitHub account in my blog post. And basically what I did was I wrote the program in Google Colab, because Google Colab is a free online Jupyter notebook that has a lot of the libraries already installed on it. And because it has a lot of the libraries already installed on it, all I had to do was import libraries, which is good. And the good thing about Google Colab is you don't have to worry about installing the software, and you don't have to worry about installing the updates, and you don't have to worry about, using memory on your computer. And basically that's what I did. I had a Chromebook, but I'm not going to buy another Chromebook. And I had installed Linux on my Chromebook because you have to have Linux to have Python. So I did that. I installed Linux, and then after I installed Linux, I installed Python and some of the libraries, and I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about data science or anything about Linux or anything about Python at all, and I did it all, and then I was having problems with my Chromebook. So I have not uninstalled Linux. I'm just not using the Chromebook anymore because I had to buy a new laptop because I was having problems with my Chromebook. I had to send it in for repair. I needed to use something while my Chromebook was in repair. So this new computer, I don't have Linux installed, and I don't have Python installed, and I'm not planning to do it. I'm just planning to use Google Colab. So after I wrote my program on Google Colab, or created the program on Google Colab, I imported NumPy and Pandas, which are the two main libraries that you're going to use. You're going to use other libraries, but those are the two main libraries. So they just, as a matter of course, you always import those. And then I imported and read in the file. So this is the file that I read in. It says item, variety, date, price, unit, and 26,904 rows. I checked info on the file, and so all of them except price were object files. And I forgot to check to see if there were any null characters, but fortunately the program worked, even though I didn't check to see if there were any null characters. But you're supposed to check for null characters as well, which I didn't do. But I'm not going to go back and do it because it took a really long time for the model to go through and make the prediction. But that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to check for null characters as well, which I forgot to do. Okay. So I wanted to sort it by the date. I wanted to sort the data frame by the date. So what I did was I made it to where the oldest date was on the top and the newest date was on the bottom. And then what I did was I created a group, and because I don't know how to predict on groups and subgroups, I looked it up on the internet to see if I could find out how to do it, and I was not able to find out how to predict on groups and subgroups. So what I did was I combined the item and the variety together, and whenever I combined the item and the variety together, I gave that the label of group, and that's what we're going to use is the group. So if any of my YouTube viewers know how to program using groups and subgroups, and I certainly would like to know how to do that, because I wasn't able to find out how to do that during my internet investigation. So now what we're going to do after we created the group, we dropped the item and the variety because we didn't need that anymore. We could also drop the unit as well, but I didn't do that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to count the group. So we're going to use some code to count how many items were in the group. And you can see that there were 171 items, almost as many items as there are on the CSV file for COV19. Now we're going to do some work on the date. So we want to get the max date, which is the highest date on the data set. So we need to know what the highest date on the data set is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to drop some more columns. So we're dropping unit and index, because whenever I was creating the group, I reset my index. And when I reset my index, I had another column called index. And so I decided just to drop that as well. Now what I did was I defined my model, which was FB profit. And so what I did was I forecast on the group. So here's the code that you need to do to forecast on the group. And then so I had a period of 52 weeks. So period equals 52 and frequency equals W. So it was a long time. It took a really long time for this to work through, which is why I'm not going to go through and put the look for null values in there. So this is the forecast that was created, and then what we're looking for specifically is we're looking for Y hat and group. So that's what we've got, Y hat and group. So now what we've done is we've created a data frame that has the date, the prediction, and the group on it. So that was a good little data frame that Facebook Profit made, because it had all of that information in there already. So now what we're going to do is that data set had the past predictions on it as well as the future predictions. So I was only interested in the future predictions. So what I did was I made a data frame called future predictions, and everything that was above the max date goes into future predictions. So we wanted to count to see how many groups were in the future predictions. And that was 172 as well. But I think I may have made a mistake on that. I think what I should have done was, I think I made a mistake for I groups equals data group to this. So I think I made a mistake on that. What I should have done was should have said future predictions. So it looks like I am going to have to go through and redo that program. I'm going to have to put the null characters in it, and then I'm going to have to change the count groups because I made a mistake on that, which is a really good reason for me to do a code review, because when I go through the code review I can find mistakes that I made. So I've made 2 mistakes in this program already. So now what we can do is, what we're going to do now is we're just going to select the single prediction. So the just says origin is going to be a turnip. So we're going to select all of the predictions for turnip. So this is for 21/1/17. It's your first prediction. That's next week. And we're going to be a year away. It's going to be 22/01/09 is going to be your last prediction. So it's going to give you the predictions for a year. So that's good that I've done this code review, because I found 2 mistakes that I made in the code. And that means when I finish this video, I can go correct the code. And then after I've corrected the code, I can do the blog post. And when I do the blog post, I will give you the link to the program if you want to look at the program. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like my work, then please like, subscribe, and share. If you want to keep receiving my videos, then please click on the bell button, and that will notify you whenever I make a new video. So if you want to support me, I've got my email address to my PayPal account in the description box down below. The reason why is because I don't have enough subscribers to monetize, so I have to ask for donations. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to making new videos for you in the future.